Hi students, good afternoon. Please ask everybody to join the link. Please share the link to your classmates. Please let us wait for more students to join and then we shall start with today's class. So please share the link with your classmates. Thank you. Hi students, good afternoon. I'm Ajay and I'm part of the digital marketing team from Plant Green Inertia. This session is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So totally you have about 18 interventions. So today's class is for SSKV College of Arts and Science. So students, let us start with today's chapter. So today's chapter is chapter 6, which is about funnel building and competitive SEO analysis. After studying this chapter, the students will be able to explain the concept of digital funnels, analyze the user journeys across multiple stages, and design basic funnel structures for different objectives. You will also be able to understand the competitive analysis in SEO and apply the ethical methods to evaluate the competitions. The digital strategies in educational, business, and social context. Now let us move dive deep inside the concept of funnel building in digital marketing. A funnel in digital marketing represents the structured pathway through which the users move from initial awareness to the final action. The funnel metaphor is used to describe how a broad group of users gradually narrows as they progress through the stages of engagement. Funnel building is the deliberate process of designing and managing this journey. In academic and professional discussions, funnels are not viewed as rigid structures but as analytical frameworks. They help marketers and educators understand how attention is captured, how the interest is sustained, and how decisions are made. Funnel thinking emphasizes process over isolated actions. So, funnels are applicable beyond the commerce. Educational institutions use funnels to guide the learners from the awareness stage of the programs until the enrollment stage. So, social organizations use funnels to move the individual from awareness until participation. Let us see few examples of where they use the concept of funnel building in digital marketing. A student discovering a course, exploring details, and enrolling. A user learning about a cause and signing up as a volunteer, or a visitor researching a service before making a contact. Now let us see what are the different stages of the digital marketing funnel. The digital marketing funnel is commonly divided into stages such as awareness, consideration, and conversion. Each stage reflects a different level of user readiness and information needed. Now, understanding these stages helps in designing the appropriate content and interactions. At the awareness stage, the users seek general information. At the consideration stage, they compare the options and seek for clarity. And at the conversion stage, they evaluate the trust and ease of action. Advanced funnel analysis recognizes that users may move back and forth between any of these stages. So, effective funnel design respects the user's autonomy and avoids any kind of forced progression. Now, students, I'm going to break it down and explain to you in simple words so that you can be able to understand about what I have just gone through the concept of funnel design and funnel building. Now let us see. I'll explain to you in simple terms so you all will be able to understand. What is funnel design? What is funnel building? Funnel building means designing a structured journey that moves a user from the awareness stage to the conversion stage. Instead of doing some kind of random marketing or just implementing any kind of random marketing, what we are going to do is we are going to create a structured and planned pathway for the customer. So, designing this journey from the starting until the end is called as funnel building. So, right from the customer when he clicks on a website until the last step where he purchases a product from the website, the in between journey that he goes through, the stages that he goes through, is called the funnel building. So, instead of doing some kind of a random marketing, we are going to do planned strategy and planned pathway for the customer. That is called as funnel building. Now, there are three main types of funnel stages. The first stage is the top of the funnel, which is the awareness stage. What happens during the stage is the users don't know you yet. They know nothing about you. They haven't even heard about you. This is the first time they're seeing an advertisement about you on any platform. It can be on Google, it can be on social media like Instagram or Facebook or anywhere. This is the first time they are seeing an advertisement about you. So the users don't know you yet. What is the goal of this stage is to attract the attention of the customer. You need to provide the value to the customer, and you also need to educate the customer. That is the goal of the first stage, which is the awareness stage. So you attract the attention of the customer, you provide the value of the customer, and you educate the customer. So the example of doing that is, how do you do this? How do you provide value? How do you educate the customer? For example, you can write blog posts on your website. Then another example is you can create social media content on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere. The third is to create original YouTube videos. You can create content and send it to YouTube, upload it on YouTube about your brand. So the main focus about the first stage, which is the awareness stage, is to drive the traffic and the awareness, build the traffic and the awareness of the customer. So that is the main focus of the first stage of the funnel, which is called as the awareness stage. Now let us see the second stage of the funnel, which is the middle of the funnel. It is called the consideration stage. So what happens during the second stage, which is the consideration stage? Now the users or the customers or the clients, they know something about you. They know something about you. So what are they going to do? Now they are comparing options. Now they are comparing the price of your product to another company, to another brand, or another website. So what is the goal of this? What is the goal of the second stage of the middle of the funnel, which is the consideration stage? The goal of the second stage of the funnel is to build the trust among the audience. You need to build the trust of the audience. You need to show the benefits to the audience. That is the main goal of the second stage. Now, how do you build the trust and how do you show benefits in this second stage? For example, number one, you can write or give the customer free ebooks. Number two, you can conduct webinars for the customer. When you conduct, when you conduct webinars for the customers, you are educating the customer about the brand, about the product, or about the service. Third is to research and implement case studies about the industry, about the product. So, in that way, you are also educating the customer. And last example, which is a very important and commonly used example today, is email marketing. You can email the customers about whatever you want to tell about your brand, a new launch or something about educate the customer. You want to build long term trust. You can do email marketing for the customers. So, the main focus of the second stage of the funnel, which is the consideration stage, is to engage with the customer. So the main focus is to you're going to engage with the customer in the second stage of the funnel. Now let us see what is the third stage of the funnel, which is the bottom of the funnel. The third stage of the funnel is called the conversion stage. So what happens during this stage is the users are ready to decide. Here they have already made the decision whether they need to buy your product or they don't want to buy your product. So the users are already ready to make the decision. So the goal of the brand or the goal of the digital marketers is to convert the audience and make them purchase a product. You should try to remove any kind of objections in between and always offer a very clear pathway for the customer. So this is the main goal of the third stage of the awareness stage, the third stage of the bottom of the funnel, which is called the conversion stage. Now, how do you offer this clean goal is, for example, is to give the customer or the client a free trial. Then you can give a discount to the customer. Next, you can write a call, a demo call to the customer. And finally, you can write a limited time offer to the customer. So all these are example you can do to convert the customer into purchasing a product. So the main focus of the third stage of the funnel is to increase the sales and the conversions. So these three are the main stages of the funnel. First stage, which is the top of the funnel, second stage, which is the middle of the funnel, and the third stage, which is the bottom of the funnel. Now let us try to understand why funnel building matters. Because without funnel building, you are dealing with random customers. Because you are dealing with random customers, there is a very low conversion. And the third option is because you are not using a funnel, there is no strategy. That is why that it is a disadvantage if you are not using a funnel. But now let us look at the advantages if you are going to use a funnel. Number one, structured user's journey. You will be able to identify a clear structure of the whole process of the user's journey. Number two, you will be able to gain the higher trust of the audience, trust of the customer, which is very, very important when you're doing digital marketing. And number three is higher conversions, where you will be able to convert the audience into purchasing a product or a service or whatever you are trying to sell. So, this is why funnel building matters the most. Now, students, I am going to give you all an exercise. Please sit back and reflect on whatever I have taught you in this topic in the funnel design. What are the different stages of funnel design? Put everything into understanding. I have the notes in front of me. Please take down notes. Please take down notes of important terminologies that we have discussed in the topic funnel design and what are the different stages of funnel design. So take notes now on this topic, and once you are done, we shall move to the next topic. Now, students, let us move to the next topic. So, the next topic is user journey mapping and funnel design. User journey mapping involves documenting the steps users take while interacting with the digital platforms. This process includes identifying the touch points, identifying the emotions, and decision barriers. The journey maps support thoughtful, funny design. Now, funnel design must align with the real user behavior rather than the assumptions. Overly complex funnels often result in disengagement. Simplicity and clarity support smoother progression. Now, mapping user journey allows organizations to identify the gaps between the intention and the experience. So, for example, mapping the enrollment steps for an online course. Another example would be documenting the navigation paths on a website. And one more example would be identifying the touch points of confusion or delay. Okay, students, let me break it down for you and make it simple for you all to understand. What is user journey mapping? User journey mapping means visually mapping the step by step experience of a customer that goes through before, during, or after the purchase. So, what user journey mapping focuses on? It focuses on what the users think and about what the users feel and what the users do in the website and where do they struggle. So it is very important to understand the human side of marketing. So it is more about a step visually mapping the step by step experience the customer goes through the whole purchase. Now let me tell you why user journey mapping is very important. Because if you don't understand the journey of your customer, then you cannot design the funnel. So the benefits of doing user journey mapping, because it helps you identify the pain points, understand the emotions, it removes any kind of friction that you have along with the customer, and overall it improves the whole user experience. So that is why user journey mapping is very important. Now let us see what is the typical user journey stages. So there are 5 stages in the user journey. The first stage is the awareness stage. The second stage is the interest stage. The third stage is the consideration stage. Fourth stage is the decision making stage. And the fifth stage is the post purchase stage. So now let us see the first stage of the user journey, which is the awareness stage. So what happens during this stage? The emotion of the customer is very curious. He wants to know more. As soon as he sees your advertisement, he becomes curious. So he wants to see more from the brand or understand something about the brand. So he basically needs awareness from the brand. So the first stage is the awareness stage. Now the second stage of this process is called as the interest stage. The users visit the website. The emotion that is running inside the customer is that he is interested, but he is also very cautious. So that is the second stage of the user journey. Now, the third stage of the user journey is called the consideration stage. This is when the user reads all the reviews. So now he is trying to consider whether he should purchase a product or purchase a service from your website. So the emotion that is running inside him during that time is he is hopeful plus he is in doubt. Now the fourth stage of the user journey mapping is the decision stage. The users compares the price. He is ready to make a decision. So what is the emotion that is running inside him? Is the emotion that is running inside the customer is the risk evaluation. So he will ask himself during the decision making stage, is it affordable or not? And the fifth stage of the user journey is the post purchase stage. So the user receives the email onboarding. The emotion that is running inside the customer is whether he is excited or he is regretful. Did he make the right decision or did he make the wrong decision? That is the only emotion that is running inside the customer. So, what is funnel design? Funnel design means structuring the marketing touchpoints to guide the users smoothly throughout their journey. So user journey mapping focuses on the user's perspective, while the funnel design focuses on the business strategy. These are two different things. So now let me explain to you what is the difference between user journey mapping and what is funnel design. So the user journey is customer focused and the funnel design is business focused. The user journey is emotional and very behavioral. The funnel design is strategic and structural. The user journey focuses on what the users experience, but the funnel design is about how the business guides them. Both of these must align Only when it aligns, it will be the best for digital marketing. So there is an emotional layer in user journey mapping. The emotional layer in user journey mapping is at every stage, the customer or the client or the audience, they feel something. Whenever they use a product's website or a service, until they check out, there is a process, there is a journey. And during that process, during that stage, during that journey, the customers feel something. So, what are the emotional layers do they feel? Number one, they feel a sense of confusion. Number two, they feel a sense of fear, whether this product will work out or not. Number three is the excitement of buying the product. Number four is the doubtful emotion that they have. And number five, it is the urgency of the product. That is why it has that emotion. So your funnel must address all of these emotions. So now let me explain to you what is called as drop off. In user journey, what is the word called as, what is the meaning of the word called drop off? So journey mapping helps you see where the traffic drops, where the trust reduces, and where the confusion happens. Drop off in digital marketing means when a customer views the website, he gets frustrated or some kind of an emotion comes and he closes your website. So the process of him closing your website is called as drop off. So why is user journey mapping and funnel design very important in digital marketing? When the user journey mapping and the funnel design, when both of them align together, then the users feel understood. The friction of the customer gets reduced. The trust increases among the customers. The conversions improve among the customers. So, without journey mapping, the digital marketers are only guessing, and with using journey mapping, they become strategic. So, students, let me tell you clearly, user journey mapping understands the customer and funnel design guides the customer. So, these 2 points are very important. User journey mapping understands the customer and funnel design guides the customer. So, students, I'm going to give you all an exercise now. Please try to understand all the terminologies that we have discussed in this topic which is user journey mapping and funnel design. Write down what are the different stages and what are the goals of each. Please take notes. I have the page in front of me. After you finish taking notes, then we shall move to the next topic. Okay, students, hope you have took down the notes. Now let us move to the next topic, introduction to competition SEO analysis. Competition SEO analysis involves studying how similar organizations or platforms achieve the visibility in search engines. The objective is not imitation but understanding the industry standards and the user experience. Competition analysis helps identify the content gaps, structural strengths, and the opportunities for differentiation. It supports informed decision making rather than the guesswork. So, ethical analysis respects the originality and avoids any kind of content duplication. Now, for example, comparing the educational websites for content depth, observing the structure of leading informational platforms, or identifying the common keyword themes. These are very common examples when you are doing competition SEO analysis. Okay, students, now let me break it down for you and explain it to you in more simple words. What is competition SEO analysis? Studying your competition's website to understand why they rank higher and how you can outperform them. Now, this process is not copying because what you are going to do is you are going to learn from your competition. So, it is learning from what is already working. So, that is the main goal of doing competition SEO analysis is to study, analyze, and learn from your competition. Now, let me tell you why is it important. Instead of guessing what is working and what is not working, we can analyze the real working websites. So, the benefit of doing this is it helps you identify what are the opportunities. It will also help us discover what are the strong keywords. It will also help us with understanding what are the different types of content strategy. And because it will help us understand these 3 points, it will overall improve our own business. It will overall improve our own website on Google. So now let us try to see what do we analyze in competition SEO. What are we going to analyze in a competition's website? Now let me tell you. Number one, keyword analysis. What is this keyword analysis? So you go to your competition website and you find which are the keywords that your competition is ranking for. What are the high volume keywords? What is the low competition keywords? And what are the long tail keywords? All of these we will be able to find when we do competition SEO analysis. Now, the next type of analysis, competition analysis, is content analysis. So, what is content analysis? What will you be doing? You will go to your competition's website and study what are the blog topics, what is the content length, how do they use the headings, how many headings do they have, how did they use the images and the videos in their website. So all of these content we will try to study and learn from our competition website. The next type of analysis that you will do is backlink analysis. So what is backlink analysis? Backlinks are links from other websites. So Google considers backlinks as a very important trust signal. So what are we going to analyze in our competitions website? We are going to analyze how many backlinks are there in their website. From which websites are these backlinks from? And are they from high authority websites? So more quality backlinks equal to higher ranking potential. So that is how you do backlink analysis in your competitions website. Now you will see what is the technical SEO analysis. You will be able to check what is the page speed, the page loading speed. You will see if it is mobile friendly or not, if the website is perfectly responsive to the mobile, because it is very important to keep your website mobile friendly. So even all of these small technical improvements can definitely improve your overall ranking on Google. Now students, let us see what are the different types of competitors. There are two types of competitors. One is direct competitors and the other is SEO competitors. So what are direct competitors? The businesses that are offering the same service in the same location. Those businesses are your direct competitors. Whereas SEO competitors is the website ranking for your keywords. Those are your SEO competitors. So let me once again run it to you. The simple competition, the simple test and process that you can do when you analyze your competition's website. Step one, you identify who are your top five competitions. The second step will be is to analyze what are their top keywords. The third step you will be is study their content quality. The fourth step will be is to check any kind of a backlink profile. And the fifth step would be is to create better content than your competition website. So when I say better means, what does better mean? More detailed, more updated, more clearer, and more user friendly. So that is how you become better than your competition. So by doing competition as SEO analysis, we will be able to understand what are the ranking factors. We will also be able to discover the keyword opportunities. We will also be able to learn from our competition, and also we will be able to build smarter digital marketing strategies. So always in digital marketing, the research is first, the optimization is next, and ranking strategically is the third. So, students, now we have discussed the competition SEO analysis and how do you do competition SEO analysis. How do you analyze the competitor content and structure? So now I'm going to give you all an exercise, a reflection exercise. Please take down notes. I have the notes in front of me. Please take a note of all the important terminologies that we have discussed, the different types of analysis that we can do on in our competition website. So after you take down notes of this topic, then we shall move to the next and last topic for today. Okay, students, now let us move to the next topic, ethical and strategic consideration. Ethical funnel building avoids manipulation and respects the user's choice. Competitive analysis should inform the improvement rather than encouraging copying. Transparency and originality are very essential for sustainable business practice. So, strategic thinking involves long term planning rather than short term gains. Ethical strategies build trust and credibility. So, the students should develop critical judgment when you are going to apply all of these competition insights. For example, creating original content, respecting the intellectual property, and prioritizing the user's benefit. Now, students, let me explain to you in very simple words and terms about ethical and strategic considerations. First, let us start with ethical considerations. What does ethical mean in digital marketing? Ethical means growing your business without misleading, manipulating, or harming the users. So let me repeat again. Growing your business without misleading, manipulating, or harming your customers, which means you're supposed to be honest, transparent, respect for privacy, and fair competition. So that includes honesty, transparency, respect for privacy, and fair competition. Now let us see what are the common unethical practices digital marketers and brands follow. Number one, fake reviews. Posting fake reviews and posting false testimonials are a very common example of unethical practices. So avoid this practice. The next one is keyword stuffing. Overloading your content with keywords unnaturally, stuffing the keywords with a lot of stuffing the content with a lot of keywords, which makes the whole keyword and the header unnatural, is a very important aspect of unethical SEO. So please do not use keyword stuffing. The next option is plagiarism, copying your competition's content. This is another common practice that is seen in the content world. So avoid plagiarism at any costs and do not follow this unethical SEO practice. Number five is clickbait titles, misleading headlines just to attract the clicks for the customers. The headlines will have nothing to do with no connection or no association with the content inside. So you're misleading the customer just to attract the clicks for the customer. So avoid this unethical SEO practice. These may, however, give short term gains just for the moment, but the damage for the business is long term reputation. So avoid unethical practices. So now let us see data privacy and consent. With data collection, Just like emails, cookies, and tracking of data, digital marketers might have will have to follow ethical practices. Always try to follow and get the consent of the customers. Protect the data of the customers. So ethical marketing needs to clearly inform the users, get the consent of the users and the customers, protect the data securely of the users, and avoid selling the data without the consent and the permission of the customer. Because at the end, earning the trust is more valuable than traffic. So that is why trust is very important in digital marketing. So do not follow all of these unethical practices which I just explained to you. Now, students, let us see the strategic considerations. Strategy means making smart, long term decisions that align with the business goals. So, there are two types of strategies: one is long term growth, and the other is short term growth. Now, let us see what are the differences. Short term strategy means implementing aggressive advertisements, giving heavy discounts, and a lot of clickbait titles. These are very important when it comes to short term strategy. Now, the long term strategy is overall brand building, SEO authority, being very loyal to your customer base, and the posting of quality content. So, all of these are a long term strategy. So, what do smart businesses do? The smart businesses follow the correct balance between short term and long term. So it is important to follow the correct balance and align both of these short term and long term strategies in a great balance. Now let us see about brand reputation management. Reputation impacts the overall conversion rate of the customer. It also impacts the customer lifetime value, and it also impacts the referral traffic. But whereas what the strategic brands do to the customer to improve their overall brand, to improve their overall brand reputation is they respond to the reviews of the customer. They always make sure they address the complaints to the customer, and they overall maintain the consistency of their brand image. So that is how you maintain the brand reputation. So reputation is very important for a brand. So now let us see how do you balance ethics and strategy. Ethical strategy builds the trust of the users. So ethical marketing builds the trust, strategic marketing builds the growth, and sustainable success needs both. So without ethics, the brand collapses, and without strategy, the growth stagnates. That is why it is important to have a balance between ethics and strategy. So, students, let me quickly run you through about whatever we have discussed today, all the important terminologies and the topics and the keywords that we discussed today. In SEO, always use white hat practices. Do not use any unethical SEO practices. Always maintain the privacy, consent, and the data of the customers. Do not do any plagiarism activities. Create original content always and earn the backlinks naturally. In conversion rate optimization, always try to improve the overall user experience. Avoid any kind of manipulation to the customers or the users. Do not use any manipulative tactics, any hidden costs, or hide any unnecessary buttons in your website. Be very transparent with the pricing to your customer. And in funnel design, guide the users clearly. Do not force any kind of buying decisions to your customers, and ultimately respect the user's choice. So, ethical consideration needs to protect the users, and strategic consideration needs to protect the business. So, always think in digital marketing and in brand building. It is going to be a long term process. It is going to be a data driven process. It is always going to be user focused. And the most important point is it needs to be trust centered. So always try to gain the trust of your audience and your customers. So, students, the key terminologies that we discussed today, we have understood what is the digital funnel. We also discussed about the user journey mapping and what are the stages. We also discussed about competition SEO analysis and what is the concept of competition SEO analysis and how do you perform the different types of SEO analysis. Then we spoke about the touch points and what you should avoid and what you should not avoid and what is mandatory in ethical and SEO practices. And finally, we have also discussed about funnel design and what are the different stages of the funnel. So, students, I have this page in front of me. Please write down all of these five terminologies that we discussed today, these five topics what we discussed today. Please take down notes. So students, we have successfully completed today's chapter. I hope you had a very good session, a very informative session, an insightful session today. So this is me, Ajay, behalf of the Plant Green Inertia team signing off. So we have completed today's chapter and today's session. So thank you students for joining the link. I wish you all the best for your exams. Thank you students. Now you all can reject from the link. Thank you.